There's a God out there somewhere, ladies and gentlemen. There is someone looking out for the New York Knicks and Jalen Brunson, as Ian Begley is reporting that league sources say Jalen Brunson will be listed as questionable for tomorrow's game versus the Atlanta Hawks with a left knee contusion. Brunson has avoided serious knee injury, as was the hope following last night's game in Cleveland. We can all take a deep breath. There was a point in time last night I thought the season was over. I thought his knee was shredded. I thought it was over. And you know what? We woke up today, and like you guys told me in the live chat, be positive, Marsh. Be optimistic, Marsh. The sun will come out tomorrow, Marsh. And all of those things happened. And we may even see Jalen Brunson not just return this season, but play basketball tomorrow against the Atlanta Hawks. I just want to look at you right now, Tom Thibodeau. You do not play Jalen Brunson tomorrow. You give him tomorrow off, you let him rest, and you let him come back when he is 100%. I don't know if it risks further injury with him playing, but I don't want to see him play basketball tomorrow. And this is the first time in my life I have ever said I do not want to see Brunson play. It's not because he's not a good player. It's because I'm still walking on eggshells that there might be an injury there, even though everyone is telling me there is not an injury there. I'm not sure we could have had better news, ladies and gentlemen. I was talking with Patrick Seatman last night. We got home from the watch party, and we sat there and we talked Knicks for 3 hours. And we were like, what is the best case scenario? And it's like, what, he's out a month? He's out 2 weeks? Never in my wildest dreams, as the most pessimistic person I know is me, that I think that Jalen Brunson could be playing tomorrow against the Atlanta Hawks. It looked bad. It looked ugly. But man, oh man, it sounds like the New York Knicks are going to be getting their point guard back. And it sounds like OG Anunoby and Julius Randle could be coming back sooner rather than later. We'll talk about Anunoby and we'll talk about Randle around the corner. But first, can I get every single person watching this video to just type JP in the chat? Please. I don't want to live a life where I don't have to have Jalen Brunson as my point guard for my basketball team. I did that for too long, and it absolutely sucked. And I had nightmares last night that it was going to be over for the year of 2024. But good news, avoids major injury, and he may be ready to play somehow tomorrow against the Atlanta Hawks. I can't believe this is my life. I can't believe this is my life. I may actually get to see Jalen Brunson, Dante DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, Mitchell Robinson, Isaiah Hartenstein, Bojan Bogdanovic, Deuce McBride, Dante DiVincenzo. We may actually get to see this team at full strength at some point during this year. Man, oh man. Now go do something about it. You got a second chance. You escaped a situation where you might have had your season ripped out from under you. Make the most of it. Get it done. Start stacking W's, and let's get back to being a team at the top of the Eastern Conference that nobody wants to play. Because when healthy, that's what this team is. I believe they are one of the best teams in this league. If you love the Knicks, this is the place to be. Free, informative, entertaining, passion-driven content every day on your New York Knicks basketball team. So subscribe and turn your notifications on so you never miss a thing. Let's go. Hit that sub button. Help us get to, what are we at? Almost 40,000 subscribers? Hit the sub button. Let's go. Julius Randle got an update last night prior to the game against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Tom Thibodeau said Randle has started to take light contact, but nothing with the player yet. He mentioned that he was using a pad in practice to kind of replicate some of that contact. And that is great news for Julius Randle. Also, we had a viewer, Jason B. of Knicks Now, at the game last night in Cleveland. He sat behind the New York Knicks bench, and he told me that Julius Randle looked good in pregame warmups. We also showed you that picture on the video this morning, and Randle worked up a very strong sweat. He was going hard. He's trying to get back in shape, but it's all going to be about pain tolerance with Julius Randle at this point. As the type of player he is that likes to get downhill, put pressure on the front of the rim, be physical, he's going to have to take a couple of maybe some hits that he doesn't want to that right shoulder. He's going to have to play through some pain. Also, the latest on OG Anunoby, he was cleared to return to basketball activities last Friday, and I believe by this Friday we may just get an update about him being cleared for contact, which means we are just days away from OG Anunoby returning to the hardwood and playing basketball for the New York Knicks. The Knicks were the best team in the NBA when Anunoby played. They had the number 1 net rating. He had the highest net rating of an individual player, and I want to see him out there. His loss continues to peel back the curtain of some of this team's weaknesses. They do not have an elite perimeter defender, and he's just the best in the NBA, so they got to get him back. We may live in a world where 2 weeks from now, Randall, Anunoby, as well as Jalen Brunson could be back. Haven't heard much about Mitchell Robinson. He did make the trip to Cleveland with the team. Tibbs said that's a step in the right direction, but he has not resumed any sort of contact on the court at this time. We'll break down more about Brunson, and we'll talk more Knicks coming up. But first, I got to give a huge shout-out to today's sponsor, Prize Picks. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use that promo code CLNS, and Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just because the NFL season is over, that does not mean your season of playing Prize Picks should end. And if anything, it should get started now because the action on the hardwood is heating up in the NBA, and March Madness is right around the corner. All you do, pick more, pick less, play Prize Picks. PrizePicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS. I'll make sure all that information is clickable down in the comments as you can play NBA, NHL, college basketball, soccer, and the PGA Tour through Prize Picks. Check them out. #1 daily fantasy sports app in the game. Daily fantasy sports made easy. Pick more, pick less, play Prize Picks. So we get great news today. Great news that Jalen Brunson is going to be back. We know what he means to this team. We knew what it would have meant if he were to have missed an extended period of time. But with Brunson returning and the positive injury update on Julius Randle and OG Anunoby being cleared for on-court basketball activities last week, we are getting closer and closer to having our New York Knicks team at full strength. A roster that would feature Jalen Brunson, in my opinion, one of the best point guards in the league, Dante DiVincenzo, Bojan Bogdanovic, OG Anunoby, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, Josh Hart, Alec Burks, Precious Achiuwa, Isaiah Hartenstein, maybe Shake Milton slides into that top 10 instead of a guy like Alec Burks. But now's the time. Now's the time to put the pedal to the metal and really start to work out and start to ramp it up, because April 20th, when the NBA season really starts, which is round 1 of the playoffs, the Knicks need to be firing on all cylinders, and they really can't afford to lose any games at this point. When you take a look at the Eastern Conference standings from the 4th seed to the 10th seed, it's only about a game and a half to 2 games of separation. And the Knicks, they want to continue to be a team that could potentially host a playoff series at the Garden, and you want to try to find a way to avoid that 4 or 5 seed. I'm not sure you can catch the Milwaukee Bucks in that 3 seed. You've got some tough games coming up. You got Philly twice after you play Atlanta. And then you go on a West Coast trip where you got to play teams like the Kings and I believe it's the Nuggets, and I believe it's the Warriors as well. Plain and simple, the season has started. It's time. Get it in gear, and let's start winning some games, and let's go do some things in the playoffs that this organization has not done in 20-plus years. Make sure you are following me over on Twitter and Instagram. That is the first spot you would have heard that Jalen Brunson has avoided major injury, and he might just play tomorrow against the Atlanta Hawks. Subscribe, turn the notifications on, hit that thumbs up icon, and let's do the dang thing. Let's go Knicks.